One of the granddaughters mentioned she thought there might be fairies in their garden. That was all Kev needed to hear. Most people would have bought a little fairy door. Not Kev. Kev decided we were building an entire fairy village. The next thing I know, he's at Bunnings, then the nursery, then the craft shop. I said, Kev, what are you doing? Kev says, well, the fairies are going to need somewhere to live. Of course they are. Then he starts building a tiny front door, a little bridge, a miniature, teeny tiny letterbox, a pebble pathway. Honestly, I've seen investment properties with less street appeal. Then the girls came over, and Kev made them cover their eyes and took them out into the garden. Very seriously, he whispered, we have to be quiet. The fairies might be home. The girls' little faces lit up. Then one of them noticed something, a tiny note in the tiny letterbox. Apparently the fairies had written to say thank you. Funny that. I wonder who organised that. The girls were absolutely convinced the fairies had moved in, and every time they came over after that, the fairy village had changed. A new flower, a tiny bench, a little washing line. Honestly, I think Kev was doing more renovations for the fairies than he ever did for our own house. And that's just Kev. He knows one day those little girls will stop believing in fairies. But while they still do, he's going to make sure they have the most beautiful little fairy village you've ever seen. Although, if he starts paying fairy council rates, I'm slipping in.